Hey guys, so really appreciate you guys joining us here today. Really exciting time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Len. I think this is our second Live Your Dream show post-COVID, if we can say post-COVID, or I guess after mid-March.
Well, if it's the second, that's the second. I haven't been counting, but we're really looking forward to this episode. It's going to be a special one.
Yeah, for sure. We've brought some really great value to you. At least that's what a lot of you guys have been telling us, as far as things to do during COVID, things to do to throughout this insane time, this pandemic that we're all going through. Things that are really important to know during the reopening process, and we feel blessed and honored that we can do that. And today, nothing changes. We have an amazing host here, Kate Martin, straight out of Australia, and she'll tell you what time it is there. It's pretty early, so and she's got quite the background, and we're really going to be talking about marketing magic and ways to increase your profits. So I really without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to Kate. And Kate, if you could just open it up a little bit and just give a quick little background on who you are and your amazing story, and and let's talk to everyone here.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for having me. What a wonderful idea these are for you guys. I am really looking forward to making today as applicable as possible to the current situation. I'm conscious some people will be able to open again, some people won't. So all of this that we can apply can be used to sell VIP packages online and also to market so that you attract better clients. I've worked for myself in this industry for 22 years, and I've had employees since I was 23. I've set up from scratch a lot of times, going to well over 100 clients doing group sessions. So whether you're marketing and networking face-to-face or it's online, we really just get to focus on enhancing the relationships, and that's what coaches are brilliant at. So I want to dispel some myths in the online world that they don't need to worry about.
Amazing,
Sure.
Amazing. And can you dive a little bit deeper into your background and what how you got here?
How I got here. So it's almost like I have a non-committal thing with staying in one place. So I've moved all over Australia. I haven't lived overseas, and due to family being sick, etc., not running away. But every time I've restarted, I've networked, done seminars, workshops, etc., and got myself full within 30 days usually.
Yeah.
I also have a really technical background. I'm a Poliquin coach. I'm a Czech professional where we learn how to really get intricate with the spine, and I'm a massage therapist. I'm qualified in nutrition. Mixing that all together and the love of people, after I got myself busy, I would then get one or two contractors on, whether that be in someone else's gym or a big box gym or a studio or outdoors, often a mix of the four. And then when the internet came along in approximately 2007 for me, or 2012, I really started using it. I realized I'm a better speaker than I am at writing, so I would make videos for my clients. It just turns out that helps them resonate with you better online than a lot of other types of content. But it really is about figuring out what your genius zone is and honing in on that and helping your clients purely with that, and even marketing in that way, because that builds relationships, and it's almost like time expands. I'm a single mum now. I have been for the last decade. Not single, my partner would have me say, but we don't live together. So financially I'm single, and I've had, just through the personal training business, have had 5 home loans approved. So in Australia, you have to earn a lot of money to get that to work. So that's my proof.
Awesome.
That's amazing. And you've built multiple 6-figure personal training businesses online, and now you're a successful business coach teaching others how to do the same thing. And that's just awesome. And the fact that you're a single mom and able to accomplish all of that just speaks volumes of just your expertise and your ability to grow businesses in the fitness vertical. So it's really, really amazing, and we're so grateful to have you on the show today.
Yeah, yeah. So, look, if you don't, I know you brought some material. I'd love for you to maybe just share your screen and take some folks through, the marketing magic and how to increase profits.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Is that working?
No, I can't see it. Len, can you see?
No, not yet.
Okay. Can't see it?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's all right. I'll share it a different way.
Welcome to technology. This is what happens on live
Oh,
TV.
Here we go. Now we're good. Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the last 3 years I've been just exclusively helping coaches, but there was an overlap of, no, it won't let me. There was an overlap of, I've been helping coaches for a decade, but I'll tell you more about myself in here. And you guys have introed me brilliantly. Thank you.
Sure.
Let's apply this to online, because that's obviously where a large component of your business gets to be at the moment. And as you know, that just means that there's absolutely no barriers to the rest of the world because of the internet. So the opportunities are amazing. Okay, so this is for the coach who's maxed out in terms of time and often runs themselves ragged with all the things to do. You might think that the only way to increase your income is to bring in more leads, but I'm going to show you some other ways. And you're experienced and you really do know how to get the client great results. So in the next 40 minutes, I'm going to cover the 3 keys to fix organic marketing. So then if you choose to run paid ads, they work even better. What to do to easily fix the potential gaps in your business income. Well, I'll help you figure out what they are first and then show you how to fix them. We're going to increase your profit before you even sign up another client, and how it's possible to do it all without losing any of your precious time. So my big promise to you is that you're going to have an actionable plan moving forwards regarding exceptional marketing, and you're going to know the products, services, and offers that you're potentially missing and what to create based on your talent so that your business is not only profitable, but enjoyable, because we all know that hustle is hard.
That's a big promise right there. That's a really big promise. So that's amazing. Let's do it.
Hold me to it.
Yeah.
So the information is going to turn the entire game around for you like it did for me. So presuming you know how to get clients exceptional results and you have very little time left as a coach to execute anything. So the real problem is what I say is you need to make the shifts. So we're going to talk about what those shifts are, and just know that once you make them, you're going to have complete control over having days off without the business falling apart, being able to dial up income you make. Wouldn't that be nice? And more importantly, falling in love with the business and the coaching aspect of it again, which is probably why you set it up and you're the boss in the first place. Just a quick intro about me. I've been in the industry for 22 years, moved to various locations, never stopped studying. I've become obsessed with things getting fun and obviously being able to do them in minimum amount of time. But I love people, probably like all the coaches on here. I've run multiple health fitness related programs, from short things to long things, from online to face, from corporate health to retreats and workshops, been in the media, done charity days, written a book, done the publicity stuff, but more importantly, run multiple versions of semi-private strength and conditioning groups with over 150 sessions a week going through that. So that's my daughter, Stella. I've most importantly helped thousands of coaches to focus on their genius. Not everybody's an extrovert like me, and you definitely don't need to be able to market or to be able to do anything online with your business. So I like to say my genius is helping the coach focus on their strengths and create a business that brings joy without sucking time. Okay. So let's discover exactly what needs to shift in your business. There's 4 of these key shifts, We're going to talk about marketing first. There's 3 in marketing and there's 1 in packages to fill the income gaps that you've got. So this is for you guys to answer just a basic yes or no to yourself if you're watching. Would you like more inquiries from organic posts? Not your paid ads, but organic posts. Are you wishing clients messaged asking to sign up? With your paid ads, if you run paid ads, do you know that you are what you're paying to get that person into your package? So are you paying more than 10% of what that package is worth? For example, if they purchase a 12-week package, if that's worth $1,000, are you paying more than $100 to get that lead in the door? If you don't run ads, ignore that question. Number 4, do inquiries ghost you in messenger conversation more than you'd like? And 5, have you found sometimes or often you attract the wrong kind of people inquiring about your services? So if you answered mainly yes, it means the marketing and just the organic marketing that you're doing could be more effective. Am I talking slow enough, guys?
Yeah, no, you're great.
Okay. Us Australians talk really fast. Okay, so good marketing simply means that the client knows that you are the one to help them solve the problem. It makes sales 100 times easier and it helps people to feel understood before you have spoken to them. It means there's no cold leads. The following makes marketing less effective if you're doing these. Making frequent posts about food or exercise just to take up space. I understand sometimes we have to outsource these things, but I'm going to show you how to make it a bigger impact with the small amount of time you have to do things. If you get too teachy or you're getting too technical and saying words that a 7-year-old couldn't understand, that's also a bad idea because our clients haven't spent the time and energy learning to understand anatomy words or anything complex. Sometimes showing off our expertise, it feels good to us, I know, because I'm quite technical, but it doesn't resonate with the clients, unfortunately. It overwhelms them because it makes things sound hard. And our expertise obviously doesn't resonate with the decision-making part of the brain, which is the emotional part. People need to feel understood, no matter how intellectual they are. Everyone makes decisions with the emotional part of the brain. So let yourself be all of you. You're not quite there yet. Before you think it's hard, do you know Marie Forleo? You guys have heard of her. She's famous for saying, I write my own copy. So she writes her own words on the internet. I won't outsource it. No one knows the inside of a business or your customers the way you do. So no matter what you do, guys, moving forward after this, definitely look into learning this. So the marketing shifts are making sure you include pain points. You've probably heard of them, but before you get upset with pain points, hear me out. So they're the problems and emotions that your clients are experiencing as a result of not having what they want, if you haven't heard of them. Bliss points are what I call the opposite. So the pleasant things that they actually want. And our job with marketing is to join the dots. Our job is not to explain how we join the dots because that gets complicated in the client's mind. Purely to use empathy is our job. And there's one more. A task that you guys could do to get the most out of this, and I'm going to, obviously you get a copy of today's webinar, but I want to give you a copy of the slides as well, is to write a list, and I do this with my clients, I get them to write a list of 20 things that could be problems or pain points that are happening in that client's life, just experiences with relationships, what's happening with the feelings around their body, and what are some examples that they're experiencing that they don't want to experience it. And if you can weave that into a story, you'll probably get quite emotional. And the other thing is you will also realize that was you multiple years ago sometimes. You can also use the opposite. You can write a list of 20 bliss points, which are the goals that they want that you actually help them to achieve, because it's using those words and spreading those words throughout your posts that is the first two biggest shifts, makes a huge difference.
That's awesome. And that's some homework for everybody out there. Like this is really, really important because you put your thoughts down on paper, they're there. They're not just rattling around in your brain. They're on paper, they're there, and then you can execute on them. So awesome.
Super important to, I think, on a regular basis, be deciding who it is that you want to work with as well. And even just the activity of journaling about that or writing it down, even though it's homework, it actually brings those clients towards you. So you attract them faster. Now, the third point to include, in whatever order that you can, is the beliefs that the person has that stops them from taking action right now. It requires a little bit of thinking, but some examples of beliefs that might stop them buying would be, it's easy for them, but I couldn't do it, which is obviously a self-belief issue. But how you overcome that is definitely by sharing case studies or going into the client's story of where they were before and how they felt before they tried it and where they are now, because it's those examples that other clients will resonate with. Someone getting on and explaining, or a client giving a testimonial explaining, I did this exercise, then that exercise, then that exercise. That's definitely not the point. The other belief might be they don't believe that you're the right one to help. That again can be overcome by you helping them with just creating some helpful content, but also case studies. That I don't have time to do it really is one of the reasons we need to show how simple, not easy, but how simple things can be for people that are similar to them. And the old, it would be too hard. And this is the other reason to not talk in too much detail about how things get done. It definitely confuses the client. Any questions?
Yeah, and that's a good point. So if there is any questions at any point, feel free to cut us off and, just feel free to throw your questions in the chat, and we'd love to talk about that, love to address it. But yeah, I think it's really clear what you're saying. And I think a lot of this stuff that you're mentioning, at least to me, a lot of it is pretty, I guess, organic, pretty natural and common sense. But there's just so much of this stuff that we can't always remember to do everything. So it's really, really valid points and really important stuff for everyone to know, especially if they don't. So.
Actually, that's a good point, Sasha. It is supposed to be organic and natural. And I think when us coaches that are so good in the face-to-face realm, and we are organic and natural, and we can build rapport with people with our eyes closed, back to front, inside out. But when we go online or turn the computer on, we think that there's a whole nother set of rules.
Yeah.
And I want to break that, because there is no other set of rules.
Yeah.
The rule is always build a relationship. Exactly how you would if the person came into your studio or in to be in front of you and you were doing a session with them. Do it the same way. It feels weird talking to the computer or the phone when you're making content because there's nobody there. You have to pretend.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, I really love this slide because people don't really analyze these beliefs that stop people from buying. They don't really think about that. They just think about, I want them to buy, but they don't actually sit there and analyze, well, what is stopping them from buying? Because I suppose later on you're gonna address those and with marketing, right? So it's really good.
So, well, I mean, the examples are build authority, build case studies, do help people. And the other thing I want you guys to know, if you're watching thinking, but how much do I give away for free, etc. Coaches ask me that all the time. I've always given a lot away for free. I've built every business by doing seminars and workshops, but free versions of that until I got full. But that's because it wasn't draining for me. It was exciting for me. I get my energy from that. So it's about choosing a level that you get energy from. But if people don't see or absorb as much content from you as what they could, they won't know that you're the right one. So it's a matter of, if you only have this much time to make a post or do marketing, and I know coaches have 5, 10, 15 minutes. I mean, pre-COVID, you had that much time in between sessions and you'd often be eating, going to the toilet, replying to messages. all at the same time. So when are you supposed to make posts? So, and we don't usually have the nature of sitting down, pre-scheduling things. I always used to make a piece of content based on what the common complaint or question was that week. And it just turns out that these are all the marketing tips to do and not do, but just let yourself do it naturally, because you will probably accidentally do this anyway, and come back to this as a checklist.
Great.
So here's what happens when it works. So Fiona on the left, 21 clients in 3 days. Tracy, 3 clients in 2 hours from putting out a VIP offer online, actually. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. So the 3 things to remember to include in your organic marketing that attracts clients and also makes paid ads work a million times better. People will ghost you less, is to sprinkle some of these throughout your content. The pain points that you write a list of 20 on. If you want to be a super AAA student, write the list of 20 of the bliss points that you specifically or your studio helps people to achieve. And then the belief breakers. And what are some ways that you can just, with joy, throw content out there. This is not meant to be hard. And again, once marketing works, and I know if you guys are using Wellness Living, then you're ahead of the game as far as technology. Sarah didn't have any of that set up. So as soon as she put an offer out, she literally had to write the leads down on a piece of paper. And this is recently. So this is unusual, right? She had over 30 inquiries immediately for an event. I'll show you what the event was in a moment. It was pre-COVID. It was a retreat. She's now gone on to do multiple ones. So this is the big shift, meaning this is how to use the current clients that you've got now without necessarily needing any more people in the door. But let's discover what your gaps are first, because there's a lot of potential problems that can be caused by having a limited number of services. Don't get overwhelmed about the fact that you probably don't have any more time to deliver anything else. That's not what I mean. But a restricted number of services means you're coming from 1 or 2 things that people can purchase when they're in your realm. So for example, one-on-ones or groups. Apart from it creates 0 opportunities for other projects and more fun. So the gaps, if there's gaps in your income or gaps in your business because of these services, it means your risk being greatly impacted by financial fluctuations, competition opening near you, the recent pandemic, to state the obvious. What was really sad was that a lot of people closed their doors or lost clients if they weren't ready to go online. And I know some clients weren't ready to go online, but have you guys mostly found that because we're using the internet and doing Zoom sessions, many clients jump on? But what I really don't like seeing, and I know there's an exception to every rule, but is even worse if people are drastically reducing their prices because they need to touch the person, or they're not coming into their 4 walls, and they're losing the whole the meaning behind the actual coaching that the coach is doing, either yourself or your contractors or employees are doing. Is it's often the words that we say that make the change for the person in between sessions each week. So let's find the gaps and determine what you can do to create, what you can create to fix them. So from the next few statements, how many of the following services does your business currently offer? These are approximate dollar values. The low end being less than or equal to, for example, $30 a week per transaction per person. That might be a small group training. It might be 1 session. It might be casual classes. It might be products and the profit that you make off them. The medium, again, it's made up, but somewhere between $60 and $100 a week for the person. Example might be private one-on-one sessions, some products. And the third one, the high end, how many of these do you have? A package that's worth thousands, potentially even tens of thousands. An example, It could be longer term packages, although I don't suggest you do too many of those. So people purchasing 6 or 12 months upfront, but again, don't do that too often. VIP programs, because remember, yourself and the other coaches that you've got are experts. So how much time can you spend with people? And then that can be transferred to online very easily. Your expertise can. And then there's events and retreats when we open the world back up again. Let's plan for 2021 or 22. But people need to put those things in their calendar so you can plan them that far out. And so how many of each of those do you have?
You know what, Kate, sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned something where you didn't recommend for them to sell, for, studio owners, business owners to sell the high-end packages, or let's say, 6 months or 12 months in advance. Why is that? Why are you hesitant about that?
So I think it's a really good idea, Sasha, to break the ability for them to receive a large amount of money at once. But let's say you've got 100 clients. I do recommend just limiting the number that you let do that for, if it's, obviously it's not obvious, but obviously your weekly direct debits will go down. Let's say out of 100 people, 50 of them want to pay you up front, then you don't have a weekly reoccurring payment or a monthly reoccurring payment off that person. So I do think it's a good idea, but to limit it to 2, 3, or 4 people maximum.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Okay. Yeah. No, it does.
Okay. So out of those 3, what are you missing if you're watching? Is the high end missing? Usually coaches that I speak to, the high end's missing. It was for me for a really long time as well. But here's why it's important to diversify your services. The real income risks. Facebook can close your account. I don't know if anybody's had that happen to them. If you're expecting to get your leads from only one place, that's a dangerous place to be. Literally the weather, it does impact our sessions as well. Even though you might have a roof, have you ever had a client say to you, oh, it's raining, I can't come, even though they're going to get in the car and come to a place that has 4 walls, but sometimes the weather just affects things, especially if you have any sessions outdoors. And these are all unavoidable, but they become more stressful if all of your eggs and all of your income is coming from 1 or 2 things. So let's talk about what you need to do to bulletproof your business. And I'm not talking about having a price rise for your current services. What I'm going to go through is much more impactful than that. Okay, prices and packaging. Not just any normal packages that would include exercise or maybe branded paraphernalia, shirts, supplements, not that kind of stuff. Even sponsorships, not that kind of stuff. Instead, I want you to think about what your real passion is and what your genius zone is, because then time expands and it's much easier to do the marketing. Meaning that you use your personality and whatever your passion is as an experienced coach. Then what my clients find is a fantastic side effect is the number of inquiries that you get simply because you're in a good mood. And I know that that's a totally fluffy, unmeasurable, unquantifiable number, but it's the truth. This example of Sarah that I gave you, yes, she's gone on to run regular retreats, just loves that idea, loves it. She even cooks, she takes 10 or 20 people away. She takes 10 to 13 people away on a retreat just locally. They drive, not at the moment, obviously, because we're in Melbourne, we're in strict lockdown at the moment, but she's got 2021 planned. But she's started doing those every month, and 2 years later, because I finished working with her 2 years ago, she adds another $80,000 a year just from that project. And because she's not stressed about money, she also brings in, she's now got 8 contractors as well, and she brings in leads from the retreats, from their friends, and a lot of other opportunities as well. Other people have asked her to do retreats for their company. She does it for sport now. She does it for corporate. She does it for a mentoring psychology group that she helps run. There's a YouTube video explaining the details.
Yeah, and this is that's actually a really good point. And I know that a lot of I think about 85% of our customers, and the last poll that we did pivoted their business, whether it be online, or whether it be to boot camps in the park, or whether it be just getting people together and talking to them. And this is just another amazing way to do it. You do workshops or whatever it is that you can find a way, because at the end of the day, you've been working with your customers for however long you've been working with them for. They like you. They like to visit your studio. They like to visit your business. They like to visit your instructors. Whatever it is that they really like about you, we still have to find a way to connect with them, and just try to be really, really intuitive, just like Sarah was here. Like, she figured out a way to do it, and to add an additional $80K a year from a secondary passive income. It's just not, she's not traveling to New York or some 2-hour flight town. She's just hopping in the car and going somewhere. I mean, how long is the drive? You tell me, Kate.
It's a 60-minute drive away, but funny you should mention New York. I did have a client that took people from Australia to New York, but that's a weird example, so I didn't want to show you that one.
Yeah. So I guess it's all a matter of just using your whatever capabilities you have, and getting that entrepreneurial hat on, and just finding that additional way to continue on, and continue to scale and continue to grow. So that's an amazing example what she's doing, what Sarah's doing.
Yeah. And I just love the example about passion. And I know, like, as a business owner, like, sometimes you forget, why it is that you started what you're doing. And, once you get that passion back, like, this is like retreats and things like that, it's just an amazing way where you could, expose that passion to all of these customers of yours. And don't forget, like, why you started this. Like, you're out there helping people transform not only their bodies but their entire life. And that's like the best thing that you can do in this world, is to help people, in this capacity. So don't ever forget that. And I know like times are challenging right now, but don't forget, like, the value that you guys add to all these people's lives, because it's just tremendous.
Yeah,
it's so important, isn't it, to remember what you do. Actually, I think it's super important I call it brainwashing yourself. I need to think it recoding yourself every day to remind yourself of what you do. I know that if I step out and I'm not helping people, even just for 1 or 2 days, I forget who I am, and that's a really disconcerting feeling. And then it is very easy at the moment, I think, to go down this whole wormhole of what's happening in the world, when I actually think it's our job. We're already born leaders if you're doing this as a job. So stepping up and helping people is definitely the cure. But we know that, but there's definitely ways to do it that are not as complex as what you think. Let me show you these examples as well. So Jody on the left just sent me a message saying she had a speaking opportunity. So she did free seminars. I'll tell you what she did in a moment. And then that turned into a paid speaking gig. Now, she's a studio owner as well. She just happens to like teaching small groups of people as well by talking to them instead of just doing exercise. So talking is very authority building, guys. Instead of, I've done the free boot camps, charity things, that kind of stuff. They work too, but if you're actually teaching somebody some information, it works really well as far as authority building and credibility. Then you have the example of Jerry, who sold $7,800 in one package upfront. So executing from the high end, that makes a massive difference to your bottom line. By the way, Sarah, the retreat example, only charges $400 or $500 for 2 days. So it's not the top end, like the girl that took people to New York from Australia. That was a $10,000 per person event, and 10 people went. So you choose where it sits. You can start low end and have volume. You've actually already got enough people in your realm to do this kind of thing now, or you could launch corporate health like what Jody's done. Jody has a studio. She launched her speaking on authority with the seminars, as I mentioned. Now, she accidentally picked up a paid speaking gig, but she's also picked up multiple VIP online clients. And when I say VIP, I mean they're not just getting emails and going through the content by themselves and asking a question in a Facebook group. I mean, they get to speak to the head coach every week, and your time's valuable. So this really is about valuing your time. But now Jody is getting flown interstate post-pandemic for her first paid speaking gig. There are some more examples. Makes a difference to your annual income. I'll show you what these girls did. So again, Jo launched a retreat. She launched an overseas retreat, but the sales in May, the 31,000, was actually from more VIP online programs. She's already a very experienced coach when I met her. And now she has regular months over 50K in sales. Chelsea, quite a young coach, but has 10 employees, a women's only gym, launched her private one-on-one online VIP course and sold out before she told anybody because she doesn't have much time. Alison, same deal. So where to from here? So these are the 4 major shifts. Once you get them and take action, it makes a massive improvement to business and profits. And then the big question is, what's their passion? Or as you guys say, what's the dream? What's the dream that they'd actually like to live, that they probably don't dare to even think about, especially in times like now? Online is absolutely no barrier. So I'm very, very happy to answer questions about that. And I will tell you another secret from my coaching clients. Instead of using seminars and workshops to build authority and credibility, now we're doing interviews and they work amazingly. I'll show you this actually. Sam on the left started doing exactly that, and now she's been approached by Spartan, the outdoor adventure race people. So she now is a contributor to their website and their social media. She only has about 200 followers on her business page, by the way, guys. So that's, again, means nothing. And then there's the example of Alicia. Alicia sold her services as a consultant and made $10,000 in sales. So Sam started creating content specifically for people interested in Spartan and networking online to help the current clients that she had. So she's launched multiple online things now as well. And during COVID, the whole family dynamic changed. Her husband unfortunately lost his job, and she's just got a great story. So she's become the main breadwinner, and she hasn't, post-COVID, we've just started to open parts where she lives, just has started to open a little bit. So she's got a little bit of a timetable with like small groups and strength and conditioning, but she's keeping a lot of online as well. Within weeks of doing the interviews and networking with other people who do Spartan, the website and the Facebook page itself actually contacted her and said, can you please make us some content? So with Sam having her product and her offers in the background and talking about them, now she's got more eyes looking at her content because now she's got hundreds of thousands of followers because of this Spartan thing. The obvious is going to happen. And that's because when Sam came to me, she wanted to stand on the podium in San Diego or wherever the next competition was supposed to be in the States and compete in Spartan. So we kept her in that lane for the joy of the marketing section. And Alicia offered her services as an expert consultant to her warm network, people that she already knew, people that already knew that she was an expert. And within 4 weeks, I think she did an 8-week course. It could have been 12, but it's $2,500 per person, and she sold 4. So you might not be ready, but you just have the dream. It's important to execute, I think, as well, without getting stuck in there, but I don't know how. as Bob Proctor says, anyone that's accomplished anything didn't know how they were going to do it. They just knew they were going to do it.
Yeah, this is actually a really, really good point. And, you know, I talk to business owners all the time. I have a lot of friends that are in business, and I have a lot of people that I know around me that are, you know, that just have really amazing ideas. And, you know, the reality is, you know, an idea is just an idea, but when you actually implement that and then you execute, you learn. And you're able to just find the best way to work. You continue to evolve, and you never, you know, you don't get stuck. You don't quit. You just keep on pushing on. You keep on finding a way to make it work. You might come out with a package that's, you know, underpriced. Well, how do you know if it's underpriced? How do you know your price for your class or some kind of a membership is underpriced? When clients are always asking you, well, hey, how much was that? You know, like, so is there any other fees on top of that? You know, it's underpriced. You know, if you have a price that's too high, and you know, you'll learn that real quick as well, because people won't be purchasing, or they'll be asking you, oh, okay, thank you. That'll be the answer. So it's really it's really important to do it, whatever it is, whether it's getting that new machine, whether it's trying that different venture, whether it's just going online. You may not want to, you may be a little bit nervous. And I'm talking to that 16% based on our last poll. And maybe we could do another poll now to see how many of you folks have gone online and have made that transition over to Zoom. But it's so important to take that shot, to put yourself out there. There's absolutely, there's nothing, you know, nothing bad can happen from it. Only good things can happen from it. So it's really important that, you know, you don't get stuck, and you don't think, what if that, or what if this. You don't need to think about it. You just need to do it. You need to implement it. And, you know, Nike says it, they do it right, just do it. So, you know.
Yeah. And I love all the examples that Kate has shown of people who've done it, you know, who've executed and are super successful. And these people are started out just like you guys, right? And if they could do it, you could do it too. You know, that's kind of, you know, it's a very important sort of, you don't want to limit yourself, right? You don't want to put these self-limiting beliefs on yourself. You guys can accomplish anything that you set your mind out to. You know, that's the bottom line. And if folks like this can do it, you could do it too. And it's just a matter of what Sasha was saying, that you just got to go out there. Don't be afraid. You know, there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some challenges. You're not going to get there immediately, but as long as you're on that path and you're doing it daily, you're chipping away at it, eventually, you know, that tree will come down and you will be successful.
Yeah.
You guys are so nice and motivating for these guys, that you're very lucky to have Lynn and Sasha doing these for you as far as content.
You know, we're lucky to have them. That's you know, that we built this whole business based on our customers. You know, that's what we do. That gets us going every morning. You know, seeing successful businesses use our software, and we're trying our best to make sure that, you know, that all these guys are happy. You know, that's what makes us happy.
Yeah.
Actually, we should be interviewing you guys as well on how you started this. And in relation to taking the next step, you won't know necessarily what it is all the time. When you're on the right track, you'll get a result quite quickly, like somebody will with their body. I do always like to say that. But the next step will actually appear as well. The people will appear. The conversations will accidentally happen.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not accidentally. Not accidentally.
No, definitely not accidentally.
So I know we have a poll up. Have you taken your business online? So make sure you guys take that poll, and we're gonna share those results with you.
Okay, so this is the tip of the iceberg, but how relevant that I wrote. We're going to leave you with your dream.
Wow.
Can you guys see the poll?
Take a look at that. That's amazing. 89%. That's awesome, guys. I love to see that. Last time we did it, we had several hundred folks in the webinar. It was 84%. So that's awesome. You guys are ahead of the curve. And, you know, sorry, not to cut you off, Kate, but I want to 89% of you guys have realized it. You guys have learned it. You guys are you know, you've recognized the fact that COVID is, you know, it will go away. You know, I don't think it'll go away from President Putin out there that's saying that he has the cure ready or the antidote, and you know, he's going to put it in mass distribution in 2 months. But I do believe that in 6 months, in 8 months, there will be it will go away and it will be solved. But the reality is that there's a lot of people out there that love your online classes, that love your virtual classes, that love that you're able to talk to them, that you're able to see them, and you recognize that this is a secondary recurring revenue stream. And this is something that's going to continue on. And the reality is we don't know what will be bigger. Obviously, we're hoping that, you know, studios will all open and will flourish and everything will get better and back to the way that it was, whatever that means anymore. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, now that you have gone virtual, you're borderless. And Kate mentioned it earlier in one of her previous slides, you're limitless. It doesn't matter if, you know, before it was always about location, location, location. Well, it's not about location, location, location anymore. Now it's about, you know, doing the best content. Now it's about, you know, smiling a lot when you're doing your video. It's about, you know, giving them that all that they need. It's about lighting. It's about wearing the right clothes. It's about giving your folks compliments. And the reality is what happens is that stuff spreads virally. And I've heard a lot of success stories about folks that, you know, are getting people to join them from classes from overseas, from different countries. Forget about the fact of just downtown. I'm talking about different countries. So that stuff really spreads like wildfire. So that 11% of you that are listening right now that are not virtual, that have not gone online, it's time. You have to go. It's not going away. You can't close your eyes and think it's not going to happen. It's not going away. And it doesn't matter if you're saying to yourself, hey, you know, I do massage or I do chiro or I'm in the spa business. You have to pivot. You have to find a way to do all that stuff virtually, because I know that there's a ton of them, a ton of you folks that are, a ton of your competitors that are. You got to find a way to do it as well. So, you know, and for those of you that 89% that have, bravo. That's the way to do it. That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what business owners do. And that's why, you know, you're going to survive this and just flourish, because there will be a boom. There will be a boom for all of our customers. I believe it. And, you know, I may have mentioned this in the past, and Kate, sorry to steal your light here, but I'll be really quick. But, you know, me personally, I would go to a fitness studio with my son, a big box gym 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 to 8 a.m. And I would drop him off at the gym and I would go drop him off at school and I would go to the office. So now I can't picture myself. They're opening up next week, August 17th. I can't picture myself going back to that gym, pushing all those turnstiles, opening all those doors, using equipment that someone's used. I can't picture it. They're showing me all the things that they're doing to keep me safe, but it's a big box gym. I don't feel comfortable bringing my son in that kind of environment. That being said, I can definitely picture myself going to a small boutique studio right next door that I know the owner. I know they're going to keep the doors open. I could bring my own yoga mat. I can bring my own equipment. I can bring my own kettlebell. I know what they're doing. He's telling me what he's doing to keep me safe. And that's why I expect there to be a big boom for the fitness studios. So, you know, just keep it up and just know that it's not going away. This is not a Band-Aid solution. This will be another way that you will be training people, and potentially from all over the world. So there's my rant.
It's very true. That's exactly what's happened with my coaches. They've all got Zoom sessions. Some have gone back to some face-to-face. Most have then chosen to keep a bit of the Zoom and the online phone calls for the VIP and the marketing that they're doing because it works. And they've accidentally brought in people. Jenny from accounting brought in 2 people from Malaysia. Like, where did they come from? She said, I don't know where these people are coming from in my session, paid sessions.
Yeah.
The internet.
Yeah, 100%. So we have a couple of questions there. Len, you want to take one of these, or Kate, you want to pick up one of these?
Yeah, I could pick up the first one. We got one from Vicky. Our yoga classes are online. People say they don't enjoy online classes because they are working at home on a computer all day with kids at home, etc. Since we can't offer in-studio classes, what are your recommendations to boost attendance for online services? Others say they aren't comfortable coming in person and or their income is limited. So I've been taking some online classes, and there's ones that, that I've enjoyed, and there's ones that, that were okay. So one of the key differentiators is really connecting with your audience. So, I was in one class, and they actually, I was new to the class, and they kind of welcomed me in front of everyone, and smiling a lot and interacting with. So it's not just you're running the class, you're actually interacting with those people in the class. And I found that made that experience much more, exceptional. So that was like, wow, this is great. The person mentioned me. Here I am, my first time here, and I just thought that connection. I got that connection immediately from that. And I took another class, and it was the same sort of thing. They welcomed everybody by name, and it was a really, really connectful experience. And even I had my camera on, and I was doing the exercises, and the instructor was actually correcting my form as I was going, and that kind of stuff. I don't know if you're doing that, but I definitely, if you're not doing that, definitely do that, because it really brings that experience closer, and brings that connection.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, you want to take the second one, Kate?
Yeah, I also want to add something to Vicky, because there does seem to be a transition period for clients. Some will be okay with technology, or if they're a little bit older and they're much more used to face-to-face. You've got to remember, everybody's going through, what's it called? I've lost my words. When you miss something.
A rough time. It's a rough patch.
Yeah, everyone's going through a rough time. There seems to be a transition period of about 2 weeks before most people will come on board, because you've got to remember, they're sitting at home. I know they're at home all day with kids. They're homeschooling. I am. It's not exactly fun, but I'm going to take that computer and get on something and do something myself. So be gentle, and then just stay in touch. And then within 2 weeks, more people will come over. One of the problems my coaches, well, not my coaches, but people that aren't my coaches, are asking questions saying, oh, the clients don't want to. It's actually not really about what they want to do. They can have their decision. They can stay at home. They don't have to do it. Absolutely. You'll be there for them when they're ready. For everybody else, we're just doing the thing. This is how training is now. And for the ones that have drawn the line in the sand and said, this is how training is from this date, it's more us getting a hold of it, because what that client sees and feels and what you're picking up on is really what you're vibrating. We know that anyway. So when you make the decision, I'm going online, here's what the timetable is going to be. Oh no, now I have to figure out the technology. You'll figure it out. We'll help you. These guys will help you.
Yeah. And we had another question from Mackenzie. I've been offering my classes virtually for the past few months, and started offering live IG classes. I guess Instagram classes. I found it exhausting. Yeah. Do you think there's a place for live Instagram classes on a weekly basis, perhaps 1 to 2 times per week? On that topic, I think what we're all going to recommend is that Instagram is great for, as a teaser. This is not where you want to be selling your services or your live classes. Like, you want to use like Zoom. You want to use Wellness Living with that integration with Zoom, so you could start charging for this stuff. Like, this stuff is not meant to be free. Like, these, you're a professional. You're teaching classes. You have years of experience. Don't give this stuff out for free on Instagram. Teasers, like quick snapshots of what the class is going to entail, and then get them to sign up for the class, right? Kate, even if one of the easier ways to get them to sign up, Mackenzie, is to get them on the phone, but free content really comes down to what you can do without feeling tired. So that's your answer. It's making me exhausted. Then don't do it. You don't have to do it to compete with the people who have 100,000 followers who are doing lots of free stuff. Honestly, guys, one of the best things to do is not watch what other people are doing. Try to keep a very similar timetable for your clients. Maybe ask, week 1, it's going to be this. You can go into a second phase of timetable literally the next month, because it's not like you have to really worry about attendance and equipment. There's so many better variables. But don't do what's exhausting.
Yeah, and you know, it's amazing to hear your third point here, Mackenzie. It's amazing to hear that your memberships have increased month over month, but you know, you still want more people in your class. That's the way it should be. And it doesn't matter how much it increases month over month or year over year, you still want more people in your class. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. Keep on doing. You're obviously doing something very right, because we're going through a COVID time. There is not, you know, not every business can say that they're growing month over month. You can say that, so you're obviously doing something right. So what I would recommend is, you know, while you're talking to your folks, or maybe perhaps after that that Zoom session is complete, send them some kind of a questionnaire. Send them some kind of a review request. You know, what is it that I've done? You know, what did you love the best? What did you love the most? Or just, you know, touch them throughout the class, whether it be a message or something, whatever it is. And that's something to really, you know, they feel like they're hearing you. And when that happens, that's when things start going viral, and they start going, you know, you'll start finding more and more people from your class. That's what I've seen over the years.
Actually, that made me think of something, Sasha. And obviously, if one person's asking this, lots of people are thinking this. If you're doing content for free, make sure whatever you have you know what a call to action is. That means whatever the product or offer is that you're going to sell. Now, it's your piece of content. Sell at the beginning, sell in the middle, and sell at the end. So it doesn't matter when somebody joins, they know what products, services, and offers you've got out there. And then make sure there's a link, or you say, message me on here to sign up. I only have X amount of places available. And I think what makes it exhausting is obviously they're not translating into paid clients, probably because you're not making an offer. Well, quite often, maybe you are, but quite often people don't make offers, especially girls. We so undersell ourselves. It's really, we need time. It's really time to change that. Just because you're making an offer doesn't mean you're going to go over to the person's house, rip their credit card out of their wallet and abuse them. So, and that it is definitely something to get over. Make your offers at the start, tell them where they can get in contact with you, what you've got on, what the paid sessions are this week, do it in the middle, talk about it again, and do it at the end.
Yeah, no, very, very valid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and the things that I mentioned earlier that I think that are just really important for virtual classes is speak loud, and, you know, be smiling, be happy, say positive things, look great, refreshed, good lighting, good camera, and those things, like, that's everything. Because, you know, if you start having, you know, some of those things that are not so relevant, you're not really bringing the crowd in and keeping them there. And you know, but I don't think you're having any of those problems, Mackenzie. You're doing awesome. So
it might be that Mackenzie and virtually lots of other people, sorry to interrupt, Sasha, need a high-end thing as well. Often I've noticed clients will come to me and they will have gone online, but instead of charging $57 for the thing, it's now $7.
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Or if you're going to do that, make sure you have a VIP version as well.
Yeah, don't shortchange yourself. Like, your services are valuable. You know, what you're doing is invaluable, and it comes with a cost. Don't be afraid to ask, you know.
Yeah.
If the clients have lost the jobs, what some of mine did was they then gave that person a scholarship.
Sure.
They might have lost 5 clients, but they actually gained 10 in the same week from just being consistent and keeping it going.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I'll tell you, it's awesome. And Kate, can you tell these guys where to find you if they when they want to reach out to you afterwards? I know you had it pulled up there. Maybe if you don't mind just sharing your screen again and just pulling up your email there. Or
Yep. So I think Erica, I can't share my screen.
Okay.
That's okay. My website's got a free gift on it for you guys. It's catemartinmentor.com. There's a free gift on the front page to show you one of the ways to build very quickly and execute and sell an online program. It's catemartinmentor.com. If you'd like to book a call with me, it's catemartinmentor.com/apply.
Yeah.
And you'll get all this in an email.
Cool. And I know Erica's hanging out in the background there. And if you could just put in the chat so everyone can see, and a link to Kate's website, that would be great.
Yeah, I think she just she made her the presenter, so now we have to pop it up. But you know, I think that you know, there's been a lot of amazing stuff that we heard, and a lot of amazing stuff that Kate had mentioned. And I think that this is one of the most favorite parts of our job, of me and Len's job, and I'm sure Kate as well. Just, you know, taking those few little secrets, or those few little things that we've seen that has worked for us. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're in business just like you guys are in business, and we're always doing all kinds of different trial and error, and we're testing things out, and we're trying to really listen to you and listen to all the things that are working for you, things that are not working for you, and trying to find a way to make, you know, make everything as seamless and as transparent for you to run and manage and continue to scale your business, all the while thinking about your clients as well, and to make things as simple for them to buy your services, to be able to use your services and when they want. So it's really, you know, it's amazing for us that we're able to, you know, let's say beta on ourselves. We test all these different things in our business, and whatever we find that works, we love to share it with you. So we're blessed in the roles that we have, and speaking to so many successful people, and people that have done it so many times, like Kate. And you know, it's amazing that she's able to share all these secrets with you, and some amazing stories of some of the clients that have had, her clients that have had amazing success. So if you can take one little thing, one excerpt, one quote, one story that you know, we shared with you, and apply it for yourself, for your business, I mean, that just makes you know, that makes everything for us. Makes us feel really, really good. So, you know, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think on behalf of everybody, you know, we want to thank Kate for being on the show with us today. You know, it's really, really phenomenal, and you know, you've accomplished so much, and it's really inspirational for a lot of people out there. So we're so happy to have you.
For sure.
Thank you so much, guys. It's not even, it's not about what I've accomplished. It's the coaches that have done it, and it's hard from a belief perspective for them as well. But it really is, as you keep saying, take the next step, take the next step. And you guys have this unbelievable software that has Zoom integrated in it now as well for online, doesn't it? It's the pace that these guys can move, and the touchability they have as well, to obviously, you can just ask them a question and they're the creators. You don't get that service anywhere else. So thank you so much for having me.
For sure, for sure. Thank you very much. So, and to all you guys again, you will get an email, you will get the recording, you're going to get the presentation that Kate had put together sent off to you as well. And I'd strongly recommend for you to reach out to her, and feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure she'll definitely spend some time with you and just try to, you know, understand what it is your pain points are, and try to work you through it. So take a look at our website there and connect with her. And you know, we really appreciate all the support that you guys have given us over the years, and enabled us to build this amazing platform with you. And you know, that's what true partnerships are all about. So stay tuned. We're going to have probably in a few more weeks someone else who's amazing and can share their stories, their experiences, and their successes. And you know, anything, like I said, that one grain of salt that can help you grow your business, we're happy to do it, and we will continue on.
All right, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you for your time.
What time is it there now, anyways?
Now it's 7:30.
7:30 p.m. So we appreciate you joining us here at 6 and just chatting with us and getting started at 6:30. So thank you very much for everything, and good luck, and we'll talk soon for sure.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.